Hi everyone, welcome to the Rest Show. Yes, today we're gonna be listening to Jim Carrey, the comedian. He has a great testimony, yes, about has to do with the suffering, why we must suffer. So, without further ado, let's listen to Jim Carrey.
I want to speak to the fact that I believe that this room is filled with God, and that you are heroes to me, and I admire you. Because when you step through these doors, and you decide to be a part of this family, you've made a decision to transcend and to leave darkness behind. And it takes a champion to make that decision. And I really want to speak to the fact that I've had some challenges in the last couple of years myself. Ultimately, I believe that suffering leads to salvation. And in fact, it's the only way.
I'm gonna stop right there. And yes, sometimes we don't understand, but suffering leads to salvation. We always think that when everything's gonna be good, I might consider the fact that I'm gonna believe in God if everything goes good for me. Sometimes we have to find ourselves in a deep hole. When everything goes wrong, you lose a lot. Like myself, I lost a lot of things in my life, and then I had to say, yeah, I think my way is not the right way. Maybe I should surrender to a greater purpose, which is, yes, surrender to God, and He will show you His ways, and His ways are always better. Okay, let's continue and let's hear what else he has to say.
But feel our suffering and feel our losses, and then we make one of two decisions. We either decide to go through the gate of resentment, which leads to vengeance, which leads to self-harm, which leads to harm to others, or we go through the gate of forgiveness, which leads to grace. And your being here is an indication that you've made that decision already. You've made the decision to walk through the gate of forgiveness to grace, just as Christ did on the cross. He suffered terribly, and He was broken by it to the point of doubt and a feeling of absolute abandonment, which all of you felt. And then there was a decision to be made. And the decision was to look upon the people who were causing that suffering, or the situation that was causing that suffering, with compassion and with forgiveness. And that's what opens the gates of heaven for all of us. So I wish that for all of you. I wish that for myself. I know that, no matter what I've suffered, most of you have suffered worse than that. But that's why I admire you, because you're here. And you will have grace, because this decision has been made. So I'm so glad to be with you and to be a part of this. Thank you, Father.
Yes, we must go through that. We must find that we're gonna find grace in the surrendering, the knowing that we have a God that is merciful. We gotta stop going through the paths of resentment, of bitterness, because it's always gonna lead to destruction. I'm a witness of that, and I'm a witness of restoration, healing through the process of the cross, of the suffering. As Christ has suffered for us, so He understands the suffering part, and He wants to draw near to us in that suffering, and knowing that through that suffering we're gonna maybe surrender to our will and have it His will. May His will be done in our life and not ours. Be blessed.